guys, and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys. And today I'm actually going to be showing you how to cut a panelled peplum blouse. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be teaching you how to do today. Panelled peplum blouse. Yeah, that's what I'm actually going to be showing you. I repeated it again. So if you're new to my channel, you're highly welcome. And then if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like my video, and then share my video. It actually takes nothing to hit on the subscribe button actually. So hit on the notification bell just beside to get an update whenever I upload a new video. So that's just the essence. So today I'm like I said, I'm teaching you how to cut a panelled peplum blouse. I'm actually not going to be deliberating, paying much emphasis on the upper part, because you could decide to make the upper part of your body so however you choose to, but it's just the panelled parts. That's what I'm going to be deliberating on. So let's just go straight to the point. So this is my half body. So this is the upper part of my of the peplum blouse. So you could decide to do it however you choose to. You could decide to make it a bustier, you could decide to make it a waist dart, you could decide to make it a princess dart, but that does not have cup. So it depends on what you want. So you just choose to do whatever you want to. Like I said, so the amount of I'm going to show you how to calculate your panel when cutting it. So the waist of this upper part of this body is actually 30 inches. What I actually have here is 30 inches. So the easiest way for you to calculate it is you divide 30 inches by the numbers of panel you actually want to use. Like since this is a blouse, I actually advise you could, if so it's not somebody that is really big, like a plus size, you could use 9 inches. But if it's somebody that is a plus size, you could use like 12 inches. So for this, I'm actually going to be making use of 9 panels. So you're going to be dividing 30 by 9 inches. But note, if you divide 30 is your actual waist measurement, and each panel is going to be having half an inch on the two sides for sewing allowance. So that's like 1 inch extra on top of one panel. So if I'm going to be adding, since it's 9 panel, that means each panel has 1 inch allowance to it. So that's going to be that will give me 39 inches. That's 9 plus 30. I hope you understand. I'm just going to go over it again. This panel, since this is waist 30, I'm supposed to divide. I'll divide 30 inches by 9. But if I'm going to be adding allowance to it, which is 1 inch allowance to each panel, so that means I'll have 9 inches. So it's going to be 30 plus 9. 30 is my actual waist measurement, while 9 inches is the allowance, because 1 inch for one panel. I just want you to understand. That's why I'm just talking like this. So I'm going to be adding 9 inches allowance to 30. So everything that I now have is 39 inches. So when you divide 39 inches by 9, you have 4.33, whatever. So I'm just going to approximate it to like 4.3 or 4.4. So which is going to be okay. So that's the top part of one panel is going to be 4.3 inches. So, and then for the down part of your panel, you could decide in calculating the depth of the panel. So I have like 13 inches, just the same way you calculate your peplum. When you're cutting the down part, you subtract the up from the down part, and then you cut what you have. So for this, the blouse length is actually 24 inches. So I'm going to be having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 inches extra. So that's the down part of my panel is 9 inches. That's if you are not going to be adding a band to it. But if you add a band, you just follow my previous video, you subtract the 2 inches of your band and then just do it that same way. I hope you get it. So for this, I'm going to be cutting a peplum. The peplum, the panel length that I'm going to be using for this one, I'm going to be making use of 8 inches. So I'll explain as I go along. So the easiest way for you to cut out a panel, I'm just going to be making use of this white paper, but I'll take out this white fabric in order for you to really see what I am doing. So in order for you to cut out your panel, so now I have 39 inches, like I said. So when you divide 39 by by 9 because I'm cutting 9. So I have 4.3, and you could see my paper is folded into 2. So I advise you do this on a pattern paper before you cut directly on your fabric. So I just fold it like this into 2. So I folded into 2. So since it's folded into 2, there's no way I'm going to be measuring 4.3 inches here. It's going to be too big. So I'm going to divide the 4.3 again. I'll divide it into 2. You understand? This is like my 4.3. So I'll divide it into 2 again. So this is what I'm going to be 2.1, like 2.1 and some tiny inch. So that's just what I'm just going to be cutting out because my paper is folded into 2. So that's 1. So I just set it on the side. So the next thing is the length. I told you initially, I said I will be making use of 8 inches and 8 inches. Then you add 1 inch allowance to it. That's the length for seam allowance. So that's that will now give me like 9 inches. Then for the depth, as in for the width of my peplum, you could decide to choose however you want to, how wide you actually want it to be. So you could choose. For this, I'm going to be making use of 7 inches. So I have my 7 inches here. So I'm just going to measure 9 inches like I told you. That's for the length. This is 9 inches. Just watch and see what I'm doing. It's easy, you understand it. So this is like my 9 inches now. The 9 inches, that's for the down part of my peplum. I want you to really get this. The down part of my peplum is 9 inches. So that's is 8 inches plus 1 inches, that's 9. So that's why I have the length here is 9 inches. And then the fold, how wide you can choose. So for this, for the width of this, I'm using 7 inches. You could use however inches you want to. So that's that. So the next thing, so you remember our 2.1 inch that will measure. That's the, when you divide the waist measurement. When you divide it. So I have 2.1. So I'm just going to place it here. That's on top, and then I'm just going to mark it like this. So I just mark it like this to this point. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, so I have the length. So I'm just going to roll this properly in order for you to see. So I have the length of my panel now of one panel. This is one panel. So I'm just going to come to this, and from this end part, I'm going to come in by 2 inches. So since this is a blouse, you could come in, but if it's like a skirt panel, you could make use of 3 inches upward. So this is my 2 inches. That's from this point to this point is 2 inches. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, this 2 inches, I'm going to be curving it to this midpoint. So that's just what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be making a curve to this point, a very beautiful curve. So I'm just going to take my French curve like this. I'll take my French curve like this and just make a slant already, and then connect it to this point. I want it to be really beautiful. So I have my slant already. So the next thing I'll do now, from this point, that's the 2.1 dot inches, I'm going to make a slant with my ruler to the 2 inch point. That's from this point to this point. That's this point was actually 2 inches. That's this length. I'm explaining for the sake of beginners. I want them to really get it. So that is why. You could see what I have now. So this is my panel, just like a science project really. So I'm just going to cut it out now. So you could see what I have. So this is like my one panel. So with this, like I told you, the down part, if you actually don't want it to be this wide, you could decide to use 6 inches or 5 inches. So it depends on what works for you. This was actually 7 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to place this now on my fabric and cut out 9 panels with this. So I'm going to cut out 9 panels with this pattern now that I have on. So guys, you could see, so I've cut out my panels now. I've cut them out. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, you just take I'm using you could decide to choose any kind of interfacing. That's your stay of your choice. Depends on how standing you actually want it to be. So you could decide to use a strong gum stay, or you could decide to, if you don't want it to stand so much, you could decide to use a soft one. So it just depends on what you want, how hard you want it to be. So you choose whatever stay you want to use to do. And then with this panel, you're going to be cutting out the lining for it. So you cut out the lining for this interfacing, you cut it out exactly, and then you're going to be stitching it like this. So you stitch it because of that 1/2 inch allowance. So you're just going to stitch from this down part like this. If you want neat edges, you could decide to turn it, but if you don't want, you just stitch around and then turn, and then you turn it, and then you iron, and then you join your panels together. So and then you just join your panels together like this. So you join them together. So I'm just going to explain that to you. I'll just use my pins to explain it to you in order to make this video not to be too long. So after sewing and turning from the down with your lining, and after ironing your interfacing and lining, whatever, so in the way you are going to join it, you just take it like this and then run a stitch along on this line from up, that's from this down part like this. You're just going to be connecting them using your half an inch that you used. That's the allowance, 1/2 inch on both sides. That's what we are going to be using. We're just going to be connecting them. So once you iron your stay on it, now you see it becomes very firm. So this is the first one. So you take another one like this, and then you turn it right side, facing the right side like this, and then you run a stitch along this line with your 1/2 inch. So that's how you just continue until you are finished coupling the whole of your panel. So this is how you do them until you are finished coupling the whole of your panel. So you see it's standing like this, so you could see it. You just go until everything is done. So for this is that. So I'll just go that, couple it, and then come back and show you. Okay guys, so you could see I finished joining it. Like I told you, if you want it to stand properly, you just have to double it and then use your interfacing and sew and turn. Then with that, it will stand more perfectly than this. So you could see what I have. So I'm just going to go ahead now. I'm just going to go ahead now and join it to the down part of the upper part, and then come back and show you. So welcome back guys. So you could see, so I finished making it now. So you could see how standing it is. Like I told you, if you actually want it to stand more than this, all you have to do is just use a very strong interfacing and then double it so much, and as in double it with a thick interfacing and a thick lining, and then you have a very good standing panel. So I've now come to the end of this video. If you actually find this video helpful, please do not hesitate to like this video, share the video, and then subscribe if you have not subscribed. So thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.